The two boys looked at the captain with astonishment. "Leaving the island?" they said in one voice, which they often did because they were twins and were always thinking the same thing. "You can't leave the island," Argo proclaimed. "Without you here, we'd be so alone." Arian completed Argo's sentence as he often did. The captain looked at the boys with kind eyes. "Just remember what I've taught you, and remember, I'll be back." The boys couldn't imagine life on Tureen without the captain. Argo and Arian were barely 2 years old the night their ship was wrecked. The captain and the boys drifted to this tiny island and made it their home and named it Tureen. That was 14 years ago. "There's so much more to life than Tureen, and when I return, we'll leave together for Bluestone." More to life than Tureen? As far as Argo and Arian knew, everything in the world was just like Tureen, small and gray, not a happy gray, not a strong gray, but a dirty, dismal gray like the worn skin of an elephant or the cold ashes of a dead fire. "You've got to see it with your heart, not your eyes," the captain would challenge. The captain spent many evenings sitting with the boys explaining the meaning of color. Tureen was a gray island in the middle of a gray ocean. Gray waves slapped against gray beaches with gray sand. The trees with gray trunks sheltered gray-winged birds. Only the boys and the captain were not gray. A thick forest grew in the center of the island. In the center of the forest rose a mountain. The captain told the boys to stay away from both. The volcano erupted once. It will erupt again. "Stay out of the forest," he would say, "for the forest will take your color." They believed the captain because he had seen 1,000 islands. "There are islands," the captain told them, "so vast you cannot walk around them even in 2 days." This amazed Argo and Arian, for they could run all the way around Tureen in just a few hours. "There is one island that is most special. Bluestone," the boys would state in unison. They knew the name well, for it was the captain's home. "Ah, Bluestone," the captain would smile. "The birds always sing, the blue waters tumble over shiny brown rocks, and the grass is evergreen. And the sun sets on the horizon like an orange ball." The captain knew it was hard for them to visualize everything, so he would venture. "Do you see your blue eyes? That is the color of the water of Bluestone. And your blonde hair? On my island there are birds and sunsets with such splendor. And your teeth, see how white? They're the color of Bluestone's sands. It's like nothing you've ever seen here on Tureen. I'm going away for a short time," he said, "to prepare your place, but I will come back and I will take you to be with me there. I will return," he shouted to them. So began the days when Argo and Arian were alone together on the island. At first, they were just alike. They did the same things. They'd remind each other of all the colors. "Your eyes are like the waters we'll see," one would say. "Your hair is like the birds we'll see." They spent their days together. But after many days, Argo and Arian grew tired, and one afternoon, Arian had gone to sleep. When Arian awoke, Argo had left the beach. He didn't return until evening. "Where did you go?" Arian said. "I grew tired of the ocean and I went into the forest." He was shocked. He looked into Argo's eyes, but the color was gone. "Argo, you've changed." "No, I haven't," Argo argued, "but the captain said to stay out of the forest." When Arian awoke the next morning, Argo was gone. A few days later, a speck of gold appeared on the morning horizon. The color Argo's hair used to be, only 1,000 times brighter. It sparkled and beamed like a fire in the night. The light cut through the gray with splendor. It was a grand schooner with billowed sails of purest white. The captain had returned. Arian would see him on the bow of the ship. "I'm back," the captain called. "I'm ready," Arian shouted as loudly as he could. When Arian boarded the ship, he raced into the captain's arms. The weariness of the watch was forgotten. Then he thought of his brother and looked up at the captain. Argo chose Tureen. Sadness came over the captain's face. Just as Arian was turning away, he saw movement. He moved faster and faster until he reached the schooner. "Argo," the captain said. Argo glanced up at the tone of the captain's voice, but quickly looked down. The captain looked at Argo for a long moment. Then Argo asked, "Please, may I come with you?" The captain smiled and helped Argo onto the ship. He touched the top of his head, and Argo's head shed its grayness. The ship sailed for Bluestone. and only when he reached the horizon did they feel the vibrations of the volcano erupting.